Recently, I was visiting with a friend, and out of my mouth popped a word that I wished quickly that I could just reel that sucker right back in. But I couldn't. I'd said it. I'll just own it to you. It was a cuss word. It surprised her, probably offended her. I wish quickly I hadn't have said it, but I had. I came home later that night, and of course I was beating myself up. Isn't that what we do when we do something that we think falls short of who we ought to be, or maybe who people think we ought to be? So I looked up scriptures on cursing, or I would say cussing, but cursing is what Google says. So I found 5 pages. I cut and pasted it into a Word document. It was 5 pages. That's like a bunch. I mean, God says a bunch of stuff. But as I read them, it doesn't take long to realize God doesn't say, don't say the S word or the D word. Or funny enough, I've been doing these parables for a while, and recently I did one called the F-bomb. Do you know I got double the viewers? Did you people really think I was going to say what you thought I was going to say? Maybe I should name these something a little bit more edgy. I don't know, but my gosh, if I can get double the viewers saying something like that, maybe I should try it. But nonetheless, that's not what we're talking about now. I started reading about what God says about what comes out of our mouth. He says you let no obscene talk, and I guess that's where we go with you don't say a cuss word. Well, see, it's really a condition of your heart. God looks at my heart, and I can say, well, bless your heart, but really have an impure heart about you, and never have said something out of my mouth that the American Christian would deem a cuss word, if you will. Matter of fact, in Matthew, it says it's not what goes in someone's mouth that defiles them, it's what comes out. Now we don't ever talk about what goes into people. I mean, I guess we pretend that's not, somebody being defiled. If you really are what you eat, you probably ought to go eat you some Smarties, stay away from the nerds or the dum-dums. But let's talk about that. We deem somebody that cusses is not very Christ-like. Oh, but you can be overweight. You can be obese. Your body's a temple of the Holy Spirit regardless. Why are some sins more taboo than others? Why have we deemed cussing so non-Christ-like, but you can be overweight? And I'm not trying to get preachy because I'm not skinny mini. I mean, I have some pounds to lose, so please don't let me lose you on that deal. I'm just simply saying we get so caught up in the American Christian church about what's offensive and what we shouldn't do, and really it's about edifying and glorifying God. He says nothing should come out of our mouth that's not edifying and for the benefit of others. I wonder how much malice is coming out of my mouth every day. Slander. Sometimes we do it in the name of, oh, you need to pray for so-and-so, and we share their story. That's not our story to tell. And our Christian brother and sisters, oh, they pat us on the back because we're great prayer warriors. But really what came out of our mouth was not glorifying to God. It just wasn't a cuss word. I'm going to challenge you to think about it. I've been thinking about it all week because, first of all, I wished I hadn't said what I'd said. And those of you who think I'm perfect and think that never anything like that would come out of my mouth, well, I've just come clean. Sometimes things come out of my mouth that shouldn't have. More times than not, though, it's things that we as Christians wouldn't deem offensive. I don't want malice coming out of my mouth. In Colossians, it says you put away all anger, wrath, malice, and obscene talk. All of that. The word talks about one day we're going to give an account for every idle word we speak. Every word that comes out of our mouth that's not glorifying to God, we could just stand and say, wow, we said it. Y'all better bring a sack lunch. I'm going to be up there a while. I mean, like you could take a nap while I'm standing up there. But I'm going to work on this. I'm going to try for the things that come out of my mouth to be for the edification and building up of others. Hey, you can hold me accountable. Hold yourself accountable. I steps on my toes. Does it step on yours? If this blesses you, share it with someone. Peace.